Yo, today is a big day. It is vlog 100. It's crazy that I've made it like this far, like without missing one vlog. Like every day, Monday through Friday, I've done a daily vlog, 100 vlogs in a row. I don't personally know anybody that's done that. And just like that consistency feels amazing. And it's fitting that today is vlog 100 because I feel like I have a big breakthrough when it comes to my membership Undeterred, which my goal right now is to grow it to $15,000 per month or more by the end of April 2025. And my vision with this is to help entrepreneurs around the world grow their business. But I was looking today at this Facebook post, and it's in a group by Stu McLaren on growing memberships. And somebody had posted something that they're struggling with, and someone in the comments was like, a lot of entrepreneurs focus so much on their unique mechanism and like all the little technical things they care about, but in reality, customers just want to know, like, how can you help them and their pain points that they have, like what is the specific problem that you're solving, and that'll make people go, oh, that's for me. So I was thinking, I was like, okay, I am helping them grow their business, but what's the specific problem, maybe even more specific? And what I came up with was I'm helping them with the different things that they need to grow their business. So you have a lot of coaches that are like, hey, I'm gonna help you with social media. I'm gonna help you with leads. I'm gonna help you with your website. But for me, I love learning about all these different topics. And because I don't have a big team and I've had to really do everything on my own. So I had to learn about sales, marketing, social media, websites, like all these different types of things I know how to do. Am I the best at it? Am I like a super expert? Probably not. But I do have enough knowledge to help entrepreneurs in those topics. And so if they had a place that they could go to ask questions about social media, sales, branding, all the video content, all these different types of things, like I could help them with that. And I think that's what entrepreneurs need. You need that somebody that you can say, hey, I need help with this, and this. And you don't want to always have to invest in a whole bunch of different courses and programs for every single thing, because then you end up in so many different courses. So that's what I think that's gonna be more of the focus. Like, I like talking about these different topics. And so when I'm talking with people and I'm showcasing here on the vlog and in my content, it can be different entrepreneurs with different things that they need help with, and it'll show people that. So I'm gonna hop on my iPad right now and show you I'm gonna show you what I changed on the website. Yo, this is D from the future, and I realized that I recorded the screen share without any audio, so now I'm doing a voiceover. Basically, I changed the headline. Before it just said, get my help growing your business. Now it says, get my help with the different things you need in your business, social media, marketing, branding, etc. I updated also like the membership tiers. I talked about that in the last vlog, so if you haven't seen that vlog, you can watch that to learn more about what I changed in the names. Underneath that, we have the different entrepreneurs I help, and people can see the different things I help them with, because I don't want to just like grow your business in general, which could be maybe vague. And I also don't want to just focus on one thing. I get tired of just like, hey, here's how to grow your YouTube channel. Here's how to grow this. Being an entrepreneur, you have to wear many hats. It's very hard to wear all those different hats, but I've had to do it. And so now I want to make it easier for other entrepreneurs to wear all of those different hats. And that's what I want to do with the membership, helping them with the different things that they need to grow their business. So what I need to do today or sometime this week is I need to redo the video that's on that page and basically talk about what I said in this video, which is like, as an entrepreneur, you have to learn how to do so many different types of things, and it can be overwhelming. I've had to do that myself to grow my business. I know how to do these different types of things. And so that's what I want to offer inside of this membership, a place where you can go to ask those questions, get that help. So I need to redo that video. And then what my main focus, I think right now, to get members in is going to be to reach out to people, ask them what is the different things that they need help with, get them on a call, record the call, and then show it on the vlogs, break that up into content. Then people can see, like, yeah, bro does have knowledge in these different fields, in these different topics, and it's kind of like social proof. And I actually have a call today. So you'll be able to see that here on today's vlog. Just came out here to record the video for the site, and man, I just love this vibe. It's like, there's a lot going on in Hungary, but also it's quiet. Like, bro, it's quiet, it's chill, it's clean. And my friend Bassam, who, if you've been watching the vlog for a while, one of my good friends I met in Morocco, he owns a burger business. I was helping him with his business. He messaged me, he's like, yo, bro, I just watched the last vlog and you look happy. I'm hella happy. Like, this is my vibe. I love this vibe. I love Europe vibes in general, but Budapest is just, it just feels like home. I just have a very welcoming, like, sense about it right now. And I don't know, I'm excited. I feel like big things are coming, like huge things. Like, people are gonna watch these vlogs and be like, bruh, you remember when you was at $685 per month and now you're at like 15K, you're at 20K, you're at 100K, bro. Like, you're doing big things, and I'm glad you didn't give up, man. And these vlogs are inspirational. And so, yeah, I'm just here to help. And I think the realization I had today is huge, where it's like, yo, I want to help you with the different things that you need. Like, otherwise you got to invest in so many different coaching programs because everything is so focused, and that can be good, but sometimes you just need help with, you know, a quick thing, and you don't want to have to buy a whole coaching program. You just have a question, but where do you go to get those questions answered? That's what I want to be. Hey, I know about the marketing, I know about the content creation, I know about sales, I know about team building, I know about these different types of things, and I love learning about the different things it takes to grow a business, and I love sharing that knowledge. So I'm excited. Episode 100. I'm in Hungary, I'm in Budapest. Like, sheesh. Let's go, baby, let's go. Yo, what's up, bro? We're good. Appreciate you coming on here, man. We did like a podcast episode. How long ago was that?
Yeah, I want to say it might have been 2 months ago, or maybe less, because I've been working a lot.
Nah,
But
dang, that's crazy if it's that long ago. That was when I was in Morocco, but I didn't think it was that long ago.
yeah, or maybe 6 weeks ago. But time flies when you're pretty busy. So
That is so true, bro. That is so true. So, what is it? I remember we were talking about it on Instagram, but I guess like the first thing you could do for, like, obviously, because I'll be posting this on the vlog, if you want to mention a little bit like about like your business and what you're doing.
yeah, yeah. So my name's Eric. I started an online business called Live, and I wanted to do a play on words. So Live stands for low investment, huge value. I want everybody who works with me to really embrace that and feel that. And then I did a play on words because I want people to be able to live on their terms or live out their dreams. I'm still working with those phrases. The company's brand new, but
That's dope,
we,
though.
oh, thanks. Specifically, we help, and last time we spoke, my niche was a little bit broad, but we finally honed it down. What we specialize in, and the people that get the most benefit from working with us, are established professionals with zero or close to none online presence, and we help you start and scale your online business.
Okay.
So,
And what is it? What is it that you were looking for us to talk about like today?
ironically enough, I would say organic traffic driving in. Yeah, just from my research on the content game, one of them or specifically Instagram, not YouTube, but for the Instagram game or the model, from the research that I've done, it's showing that you need to post 3 times a day. It's not just once, and that includes story, and each post has to have a different, what do you call it? A different purpose. So like one needs to be, entertainment, one needs to be educational, and one needs to be, I forgot the other one. That's the pattern that I've seen from people that have gone viral, but in my case, that's not, I mean, if I happen to go viral, that's like the consequence of putting content, but that's actually not my purpose. It's to actually attract my avatar, my niche, because I want to help people through my content, and that's my purpose right now. So I struggle with like those three. So I'm just posting one. I did a personal 30-day reel challenge, and since then, I think I'm on day 22, and I've gotten like 30 new followers, which is pretty cool, just from like doing this challenge, and it's only posting once a day. Um, and now it's bittersweet. I'm like, if I post more, then the growth is going to be higher. But am I actually attracting, folks that would want to work with me? Because I don't just want eyeballs. I really want to attract, yeah, the right customer.
So like
So
the question that I have that people have asked me that may ask you as well, people that are watching this might ask this, and then I think it'll give you something to think about, which is okay, if you're saying, hey, our company is helping people that have zero social media presence and scale that, and then you're like, all right, how do I use organic? Then it's like, what makes what you're doing different for them? Does that make sense? Because I think
yeah,
sometimes people see coaches as like, hey, we're just selling air or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you don't actually know how to do that thing. So I think that's a valid question that people have asked me. So
I love the question too. Um, okay, so for example, my case, I've netted in just 2 months. We're getting close to 10,000, and I have a following of less than in revenues, and I have a following less than 100 folks. And the two clients that inspired me to start this program, because I've had several different clients that need several different things, but two specifically were professionals in their industry. So one works in the tech industry, and they have a very specific, I guess, job that requires certain skills, and the interview process is very complex. That they had zero online presence, but they wanted to coach people on how to get into these higher paying jobs. This person's worked for Google, Facebook, Adobe, Dropshop. They've gotten offers for TikTok that they refuse, but so they know that they're good in their industry, but they just didn't know how to bring this online. So what we did, when I say we, I started, and I have a high ticket sales person that I work with that helps with the sales portion. But we set up the foundation so she could start taking on calls and collecting payments right away. And she just needed personalized guidance on setting up content. However, I was the type of content that I set them up with is intentional to attract clients. So I was like, hey, you're a professional in this industry. You already have a following on LinkedIn. Are you open to doing Instagram? And they're like, not yet. I just want to, leverage LinkedIn. And I'm like, okay, that's okay. This is what we need to do. This is my success that I've had specifically for LinkedIn. So we just replicated that. And within 3 weeks, they had 7 paid clients. And the only reason they didn't take on more is because they have a full-time job right now and they don't have enough time. And the struggle that they're having right now is that balance between full-time job, this person's a parent also, and taking on more calls. So as far as like going back to that question is, I think what we specialize in right now is setting up the base. Like this person got started, now with that income coming in my opinion, they could probably set up some type of like, I would say an ad that generates a lot more eyeballs to drive in that traffic. However, the challenge that I do see and that I would like to solve, and it's actually going to help my clients, which is why I'm asking you, is that organic part. Like if, for example, I think if I had to answer myself, it might be you actually have to just do the work and suck it up, like post 3 times a day, do stories that have a that are storytelling, and then at the end you add in a CTA, which if people watching, I'm sure they know what a CTA is, but in case you don't, it's a call to action.
yeah,
So if I had to personally like tell myself, and what I tell my clients is, if I want to drive in more traffic, I would actually have to do that work. But the challenge that I struggle with right now is that as a solopreneur, and you've probably gone through this, you have to wear every hat at the time,
yeah.
at the same time, and you have to see where the needle moves the. I've had to build out this very complex franchise financial model that's taken so much of my time. Fortunately, their contract ends next week, so I can focus more on the content game, and that's why I
Okay.
brought up, because I feel like I'm big on momentum and synchronicities, but the timing was just right that you reached out to me right now, because now I'm like, great, I'm gonna gain back a lot more time to make content starting next week. So I wanted to get your input and thoughts of like what that looks like to drive in more eyeballs through Instagram specifically. That may not be the route of posting 3 times a day. And I think one of them is a carousel also, which I found out, if you don't know what a carousel is, if somebody's watching, is the ones where you scroll through a single post, like with video and then photos, things like that. So I have been testing things out. I've been testing the, like, post a longer video with a smaller caption, post a short video with a long caption. And I was watching a video yesterday from somebody who's amassed a huge following. He's specifically an online fitness coach, but he's been like dedicating his skill set in just growing a following online. So I tend to follow him, and he mentioned now that the algorithm for Instagram is favoring folks who stay on the captions, who actually read the captions. So they're deducting points if people just watch videos and then you scroll. I guess they want people to read. So he said what he's doing now is doing 6-second clips, which seems to work, and then the caption is where he's providing the value. So that might be something that I'll have to test.
I hate when people do that. I'm like, bro, just tell me. Like, I get it for the engagement, but it's like, bro, like they're just pointing to stuff and it's like read it in the caption. But I guess like my question would be, why not? So like for them, if they already got so many clients doing what they're doing on LinkedIn, why not just do more of what's already working?
Right, we are. Like for this person, we decided. I said you don't need to do Instagram. What I personally recommend, I did tell this person, was they have to have sales calls. You have to have sales calls or discovery calls, right, to make sure you get people that want to join your program. And also, the way I work with my clients, and I tell them the reason why you have these calls too is to absolutely make sure you can help them. Otherwise, it's like you said, you're just selling air. And I've had, like, I think that's BS. I actually closed the client, and I can't believe this, and I adjusted my rate because they wanted me to help automate their work process and bring in an engineer and implement some systems. And after doing a discovery call, they had all these systems already. They just didn't know how to use them. So I'm like, you don't need me. I was like, look at this. So I was like, I feel bad if I'm like, yeah, sure, I can bring this person in, but based on what you just showed me, and I showed them everything. But the interesting part was they said, okay, great. Why don't you help us implement this? Because if we've had this the whole time and we couldn't see this and you recognize this within 15 minutes, let's work together. So I'm like, sure. And it's something completely different, not from the program that I'm doing, but the program that I specialize in. I felt like that's, I have another client who's in the fashion industry, specifically in Mexico. And I guess the education for people in the fashion industry is just you have to go to college. There's not really any online coaches. So we're working together now, and we just started literally last week. But they can already see like the benefits of what we're showing them.
And this is like for content specifically with them?
It is, yeah. It's not necessarily the content game, I should say. It's setting up the business foundation. So it's like, hey, if somebody calls you right now and asks you what you do, what would you answer? Like if they want coaching. So I fix their offer, because obviously they're like, an offer, the better it is to answer a clear problem that you're solving, the easier it is, for people to want to join. So we fine-tune their offer, we hone down on their avatar so that when we create, content, exactly who you're speaking to. And that's a little bit of a process. So it's like, you can do it yourself. If you're watching this, just go on YouTube. You don't technically need somebody, but where the coaching aspect comes in, or working with us, is that implementation and then that guidance and getting like real-time feedback.
Yo, what's going on? D from the future. Again, it's Monday. I'm editing this vlog and just there's so many different, or not so many, but there's a few different technical difficulties. First, I recorded the screen share without audio, needed to do a voiceover, and now this recording that I did with Eric, like the rest of the video doesn't have his video, or his audio. And so I was kind of frustrated. I was like, man, what do I do? And so what I decided to do, I just cut out all his parts, and the advice that I'm giving him, I left. And so I hope that this helps you. And also you can see, man, sometimes you just got to be undeterred. You just got to still put out the video, even though it's not perfect. You got to figure out a way, focus on what you can control. So I hope that the rest of this interview and the rest of this vlog still brings you a lot of value.
What I'm testing and what I think works is what I'm testing is actually showing people what I do. So I have this kind of theory where a lot of like service-based people, they have this like I help statement, right? I help, let's say, entrepreneurs grow their business. What I think people are actually, what they actually mean is I help people that pay me do X, Y, Z. Because if people aren't paying you, do you actually help them? You know what I mean? And so it's not that you have to do stuff for free, but I think like we should be showing what we're doing. I think that's the easiest way for people to understand. I think a lot of the times we're trying to explain it. We're trying to make the statement perfect. And I think, for example, for what you're trying to do, if you can somehow document you doing it for people, I don't even need you to explain it. I'm like, oh, cool. Here's how we implemented Calendly with this person. If you need Calendly in your business, like you're just doing it. Like imagine if me and you're like, hey bro, like I don't know how to have a calendar and I'm sharing my screen, I'm walking you through it. That's good content, it's educational, but clearly no one can say I'm selling hair because it's like, bro, you just saw me set up Calendly for this guy. It's the same thing like I'm doing with this car now, right? I was getting that and people are like, oh, it's just mindset. And I was like, you know what, instead of just trying to explain to people what I do, I'm gonna just start showing them. So now when you go to my Instagram or my YouTube, you're going to see different entrepreneurs with different problems in their business that I'm solving. It doesn't really require explanation. I think that's an easy thing that most people could do. And if it's hard, that means that you're not actually helping people. You're waiting for people to pay you. So if you already have people paying you, then document you helping them. If you don't have people paying you, I think that's where like, go help people. That way you can, I mean, the same thing Gary Vee and Alex Hormozi talk about, right? It's like, go help people. That way you can get it. And then I think it just depends on your business model of how you document that. Like if you're someone that cuts grass, you don't need to explain to people. Just go do a really good job of cutting people's grass and record it. If you're a personal trainer, don't just talk on the camera of like three tips that you need to do, read in the captions, you know what I mean? Like show yourself working out with different clients and the results that they're getting. If you're helping people set up systems, like how can you document that in a way? Are you doing screen shares? Are you doing coaching calls with people? Is there like a green screen thing? Like that's where like it depends on the business of what you're showing. I mean, if you make clothes, show yourself designing the clothes, sewing them. I think that's what it's like social proof. It's like you're showing, hey, this is what I actually do, and you can see it. So, for example, if someone goes to your Instagram page and they see a whole bunch of different businesses and the different systems that you've helped all of them with, it's like, I understand what you're doing. And some of those are going to be hit or miss with people. Like I might see one and be like, I don't need that. I know how to use Calendly. But maybe you do Zapier for someone and I'm like, oh bro, like I saw you did that. I think you don't have to necessarily be creative. I think that's the hard part for people. Like you said, we're wearing so many hats that when you're trying to create content, it's like, dude, I'm already like kind of worn out from all the other stuff I have to do. But if you can just document like this, you asked me a question, I answered, I recorded it, I cut it up, post it. I don't have to sit around and be like, okay, so for SEO, it's like, it's not that's like, I think there's a best way of doing things that doesn't get done. It's like, if it's so hard for you to do it consistently, it doesn't matter. But if you can just record yourself or document yourself doing what it is you say you help people with, I feel like it's an easy way. And then the caption, if you're saying it needs to be longer, you can explain more in depth. I think I think the thing people are worried about is like, if I do that, people aren't going to need me because I'm just showing them, here's what I did with the person. But like, there's so many little pieces of like what we have to do that they would have to watch every piece of content and know what order in which to put all of them in, which is like very hard to do. So I think you're going to have some people that watch some of the content that are like, oh, cool. Like I didn't know I needed to use Calendly. let me go to their website and figure out how to use it, and they're going to mess around with it and try to figure it out on their own. But you're going to have the people that you're looking for that see it and like, okay, you know what you're doing. I'm not trying to mess around with all of that. Let me just pay you. Like, and I've seen you with other people. I've seen like the vibe you have, the interaction you have. I've seen the results. I think that's what, like, my goal is like for entrepreneurs to see like the interactions I have with a bunch of other entrepreneurs. And if they're like, oh, like they always have a good vibe, that's like social proof of like, this is good. On like these calls, if I cut them up into clips and I put them on Instagram and then I'm tagging you, let's say most people are going to reshare those clips. That's like social proof to those people's friends of like, hey, if Eric got on a call with this guy and he had a good vibe, it's like you're kind of like vouching, you know what I mean? And it just shows like, man, there's people I'm actually working with. I think a lot of people are just talking at people and just it's just them. Like you don't even know if they've actually are really helping people. I think that's the question people have. If I give you this money, are you actually going to be able to help me? And it's like, these aren't even testimonials. Like testimonials could be fake. This is like, you can actually see me helping the person. Like nobody could watch this vlog and be like, oh, but you're not actually selling anything. It's like, bro, we're talking about practical things here. So I think that's the easy thing people can do is just like go do what it is you say you help people with and just document it and show it. I mean, if you're actually helping people with those things, you should have plenty of things to document and show. And if you don't, do what I did, right? I didn't say, hey bro, pay me. It's like let's just get on a call. And I think from doing this, like if I do it enough, like eventually that'll turn into the clients and the finances that I'm looking for. Full transparency, like I don't go super hard on this right now, but it's like this could be like a sales call too, right? It's like we're building trust, building a bond. It's so weird that it did that. and then like after let's say like afterwards I could always be like, hey bro, like so what do you think of like if I helped you with this like continuously, like what, so you know what I mean? Like I think if you're already helping people with something and you are actually helping them in that time, then that opens up naturally the discussion. Like if you offer someone a free 45-minute personal training session and they liked it, then you can always just be like, hey, what do you think about working with me every month? Or you cut someone's grass, it's like, hey, what if I came every single month and cut it? You know what I mean? It's like it kind of opens it up naturally over time. And even if not, like you help them. That's why I'm just leading more into, like I said, with so this is for me personally. I think there's different content for different types of personalities, but for me, it's just like I could work on my messaging and work on like the perfect marketing and website, or it's like I just want to have conversations with people, show people that I can actually help them, and then from there, it's like if you want to join, you can join. If not, that's cool. Maybe you know someone else that could join. But either way, it's not. I think on a sales call, sometimes it's like if they don't join, that's it. You got help. You got practice selling, but maybe that's it. But like when you're documenting it, even if they don't work with you, you still have that as content that you can use to get the next person in. That you could run ads to, that you could use for whatever. I think the hard part is like sticking with it even when you're not getting clients right away. Because someone could, oh man, I just trained like 4 people for free and I'm not making 10K a month yet. It's like, bro, you might have to do it for 2 months. You know what I mean? Like you might have to keep reaching out. But I think you have that tipping point. And then the cool thing is like once you hit that tipping point, people look back on your content and you have all of these people that you've helped. And it's like, oh wow, okay. So now you have this backlog. So I think it's just like for me, sometimes it feels like that. But I'm like, I've only done like calls like this on my vlog like 4 or 5 times. You know what I mean? It's not, you're not gonna just be rich off doing it like that. You gotta like keep doing it and keep doing it. And every day ask someone, hey, you want to get on a call? You want to get on a call? You want to get on a call? Cutting it up, posting it on Instagram, posting it on YouTube. And I think you do that and you keep helping enough people. I feel like it. Like if you help enough people, like your needs will get taken care of. I think so. I think that's a. Is it the best way for social media? Maybe not, but I think it's an easy way that everyone can do if you're in service based. Like just do what you say you do, document it, post it. There you go. Yeah, I just use InShot, man, and I make it super simple. I just take the whole like I'll take this whole video, and in one file I'll just cut all of it up into clips. So I'll have like one long file with all of the clips that I want to post. Then I duplicate it and I go in and I delete all the clips except for the one. So I have one file that has all the clips, one that has all of them. I delete it and that leaves me with one. Then I edit that one down until it's like just what I want to post. And then I leave the black background. I just keep like this call in the middle, add the captions, and then I export it. Then I go to the master file and I delete the one that has the one that I just edited. And then I duplicate it and I do it again until that master file only has like one left. Then I don't need to duplicate that, and then I just edit it. This is pretty simple. I think people overthink it. Like people want to like spend all day in editing apps in Canva, and it's like, bro, just get the point across and post it. And then once you're making more money, you can hire editors and stuff. But there's no need. And I think a lot of it's just like, if I'm someone that needs help with Calendly, it's not so much how it looks. It could just be like, I just want to see it. Like there's things you could do to make it look better. But I think for most people, if you're asking that question, you probably don't have the eye for doing it. It's going to take you months to figure out how to make it good. Like you're going to waste time and it's going to look like trash. Like I see everyone doing this. Is like you're spending hours and hours on Canva trying to make a graphic, and it doesn't look good because you're just not a graphic designer. So it's like just make it, maybe use a Google Doc. You know what I mean? And then when you have the money, you pay someone. So I think it's the same with like, that's how I look at it with the edits. It's like make it simple, do what you got to do, post it, and then just focus on the consistency. There's a lot of things people don't know. So it's just like if you help someone, and like let's say like for example, if you didn't, I think there's two ways of looking at documenting, and I think this maybe will help people because I used to like struggle with this. There's a documenting in real time. So you're helping someone with something, you're recording it, and then you show it. But then there's a documenting of this happened, now I'm talking about it. This is where like what you just did just now. Hey, I just had a client I just onboarded my first VA. And one thing that I did that I noticed a lot of people don't do is I did an NDA, I did this. So if you're going to be hiring someone, you don't just hire them and then send all your stuff to them because they could do X, Y, Z. That's bad. You want to make sure you do this. And if there's something that you need help with, like, just let me know. Like, so now you're not just like giving people tips like everyone. It's like, it's documenting because this is what happened and I'm just telling you. Or you could show it with the client. I think those two things work well because if we're actually doing what we say, we should have a lot of examples. But I think like, I think we overestimate like how smart people are. Like I don't want to make it seem like people aren't smart, but they're just not as smart as like we think they are. Like everyone thinks that people are just going to watch one video of ours and be like, oh, I know how to do it. If what you're doing is that simple, then maybe. But for example, if you go to the car mechanic and they're like, hey, this is what I'm doing to put in a new engine, bro, we don't just go do that. Like it's you know what I mean? Like we don't even know anything about that. But to them, they're like, oh, they'll just do it. It's like because they have all the knowledge. But like for us, it seems like it's simple because we know how to do it. But for 9 out of 10 things, it's like they're gonna hear you talking about like, oh, well, I told them about NDA. Why do they need me, bro? They don't know what even goes on the paper. How do you send it? How do you get them to sign it? Do you send it in the mail? Do you send it electronically? If you do, how did you make it? Turn it into a PDF? How did you allow them to sign it? Did you sign it first? Did they like? There's so many questions of the implementation. Yeah, that I think we are like, oh man, like no one's going to need us. And I like what Alex Ramosi says, where it's like, someone's going to put out the information, so it might as well be us. Like the people that are that are hiding away, it's like they're never even going to know. So I think the more things that we're just sharing, like if you have a picture, let's say for example, if you would have thought about it and you had a picture of you and the VA, and maybe you did like a Zoom or whatever, you're talking to them, and then in the caption, like then you just say these things. It's like there's so much, like that's what I mean. Like you'd have to give so much information for them to be able to do just that one thing. I think we forget too that there's going to be people that watch that content and then they go do it. But then they have a friend that's like, hey, I need to fix my motorcycle. They're not going to go tell that person how to do it because they learned it from you, but they don't teach it. So they would say, oh, I saw this video from Eric on how to do it. Like, you should check it out. So then maybe that person becomes the client. That's why for me right now, I'm just like, obviously I'm focused on the money, but it's like, how can I just help people? And then from there, show it. And then from there, I think that's going to be the gateway into the sales and all this type of stuff. But not just going so hard on like explaining it and trying to get people to understand. I'm like, just show it.
So I just got back to the place that I'm staying at. I'm about to eat this pizza. It's like a pepperoni and egg. I've never even heard of egg on a pizza, but after I got done with that conversation with Eric, ended up hanging out with a couple of friends here. It's really cool to just like have, like I really miss the community here and like the cool people I would hang out with. And I'm just like getting more serious about learning Hungarian. But anyways, like I feel like a lot of progress was made today. I love having these conversations. I hope it was valuable to you. And if you would like my help with the different things that you need to grow your business, I'll leave the link below. You can check out the different tiers for the Undeterred membership. I also send out daily emails with different tips on different topics to help you grow your business. So that's 100% free. I'll leave the link to that below as well. And yeah, if you would like to be on the vlog as somebody that I help, I do these for free, 30 minutes roughly, and I'll just help you for free on a call. You can see what it's like to get my help. Just shoot me a message on Instagram. Let me know in the comments. And man, I'm really excited about this journey. I'm excited to be back. Hope you're crushing it with your goals and your dreams as well. And yeah, I got to make it. Oh, my wife also booked her flight to come to Budapest. She's in Orlando right now, where we were living before. She's been there for quite some time, visiting family and some other things. And she booked her flight for April 7th, so in a month. So I'm excited about that. So I got a lot of hustling, a lot of grinding to do until then. New episode of Severance came out today, so I'm probably gonna eat this, take a shower, and check that out. And I appreciate you watching the vlog, especially if you make it this far in the end. And let's get it. See ya.